with a quick test. Don't worry, no math involved. I want everyone in this room to close their eyes and think. What's the first word that comes to people's minds when they hear your name? I bet that some of you had no idea what to say, while others genuinely didn't care. But the majority probably cared so much that they started to overthink about a question that's actually quite simple. Now, why does that happen? Simply because most of us spend our whole lives trying to control the way other people see us and change who we are just so we can fit a slightly better version of ourselves in someone else's story. And I am standing here today, and I am a proof that I was once no exception. In fact, as I waited for you to think of the question I asked you, I closed my eyes and tried to think of an answer too. My name is Jade Mortimer, and there was a point in my life where people's opinion shaped everything I did. If you had asked me this question 4 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to think about something kind or even compassionate. In fact, I wouldn't have been able to answer at all. For so long, I was framed, and this frame slowly became the way I saw myself. I smiled when I didn't want to. I agreed when deep down I actually disagreed. I became the version of myself that felt like it was easier to accept because I thought that I had to be liked by everyone. However, I never realized that I was slowly disappearing in the process. And at some point, I did manage to break free. But it didn't happen instantly. It happened slowly, with the realization that I didn't want to live with myself with this fake identity. At first, I thought that freedom meant that I had to stop to care of what people thought of me. But let's be honest, we are humans. We notice rejection, we notice acceptance, we notice expressions and reaction. We care and we hurt because we are humans. However, the real danger begins when this awareness turns into performance. Somewhere along the way, we start to notice which version of ourselves gets accepted easier, which emotion feels easier to handle, which opinion could get accepted better in society. But why does this happen? Well, let me tell you. Our brains are wired to treat physical injuries the same way it treats rejection. What do I mean by that? As a matter of fact, in 2003, a team of psychologists discovered that the same area of the brain is activated when you're physically injured as well as when you're rejected. So that actually explains a lot. It explains why so many people start to lose pieces of their authenticity in order to fit in. And for me, no story reflects this idea better than the myth of Echo, my favorite story in Greek mythology. Echo was a mountain nymph known for her beauty, but especially for her voice. She spent her time storytelling, singing, and having conversations. Her voice was her identity. But one day, she was charged to distract Hera because Zeus wanted to go and spend time with other nymphs. Unfortunately, Hera discovered, and in order to punish Echo, she took away her ability to speak freely. She didn't let her go completely silent. She punished her. Echo, from that moment on, would only repeat the last words of each sentence after everyone speaks. And this punishment became the reason why we use the word echo today. Literally and psychologically, echo became the symbol of people that often change themselves in order to fit in. And I think that happens more often than we realize. When we speak after adjusting ourselves, we often realize that our voice isn't truly ours anymore. Unfortunately, we live in a world that tells us that we should be ourselves, but often punishes us when we actually try. Yes, people might judge. They might misunderstand, but that's okay, because being yourself will cost you some people, but pretending will cost you yourself. And actually, no matter how much you try to satisfy people, they are rarely fully satisfied. Trust me, I have tried everything. No matter how much you try to change, adapt, reshape, again and again and again, people will always find something they want differently. So living for their approval becomes impossible. There's also a positive side. Once you step beyond the frame, you realize something. The people who truly matter didn't ever need you to fit inside the frame in the first place. And that's actually the real beauty of authenticity. It has a sort of magnetism to it. What do I mean by that? Well, the biggest lie that we're all conditioned to believe is that we are supposed to get along with everyone, and everyone is supposed to get along with us. No. You're supposed to be you and sort through humanity with this kind of magnetism you have that is actually your authenticity. And with this tool, you attract your people, your tribe. And your tribe is not everyone. At the end of the day, the world will always try to frame you. But you are not just a portrait. You are the artist. So the question isn't who you're supposed to be. It's who you choose to be beyond the frame. At some point, when you finally step through it, the person that you were always meant to be has finally room to live. As Carl Jung once said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Earlier, I asked you to think of the first word that comes to people's minds when they hear your name. This time, I want you to do the same, but with a small twist. I want you to think of the first word that you would think of yourself. So, when you actually manage to step beyond the frame, who will you choose to be? Thank you.